Imagine a place that tells a story spanning centuries, where culture and nature intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. That's the beauty of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm Abigail, and this is Global Treasures, the podcast that covers the history, travel tips, and legends surrounding one of the 1,223 World Heritage Sites each episode. These places have been identified as having universal cultural or natural significance that is so exceptional that it transcends national boundaries and is of importance to present and future generations. Welcome to Season 2, where we'll explore the 45 sites that UNESCO added in 1979 together. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We appreciate all of your support, and you can continue to support us by subscribing at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Podbean. You can also follow us on TikTok and Facebook. Imagine a landscape where water and land engage in an internal, mesmerizing dance, where each stone, each ripple, each breath of wind carries a millennia of stories. Close your eyes and transport yourself to the Ohrid region, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that defies simple description. An extraordinary place where natural wonder and human history intertwine in the most profound ways imaginable. A place that draws over 300,000 visitors annually. This is a journey that will take us across the borders of southwestern North Macedonia and eastern Albania through a landscape that is at once a living museum, a biological treasure, and a testament to the remarkable resilience of both nature and human civilization. To truly understand the Ohrid region, we must first dive deep into its geological history, a story that begins millions of years ago. Lake Ohrid isn't just a body of water. It's a liquid time capsule that has preserved life in ways that continues to astound scientists. Geologically speaking, this is part of the north-south tectonic basin that tells a complex story of Earth's transformation. Most lakes fill rapidly with sediment, but Ohrid has defied these odds through a remarkable combination of extraordinary depth and continuing tectonic subsidence. The lake's origins date back to the Pliocene period, with sediments ranging from 3 to 5 million years old. Imagine a landscape in constant, subtle motion. The lake sits within an active graben system, a seismogenic landscape where the Earth's crust is literally being pulled apart. On February 18, 1911, the region experienced a significant earthquake, a magnitude 6.6 tremor that shook houses but miraculously caused no loss of life. The hydraulic system of Lake Ohrid is nothing short of miraculous. Its water comes from multiple sources. Underground springs on the eastern shore provide nearly 50% of the inflow, rivers contribute about 25%, and direct precipitation makes up the rest. But perhaps most fascinating is its connection to nearby Lake Prespa. Located just 10 kilometers away, or a little over 6 miles, and 500 feet higher in altitude, Prespa transfers water to Ohrid through underground karstic channels, a hidden subterranean river system that speaks to the complex hydrology of the region. Lake Ohrid is a biological marvel that challenges our understanding of evolution and ecological preservation. With a maximum depth of 945 feet and covering 138 square miles, it's the deepest lake in the Balkans. But its true significance lies in its extraordinary biodiversity. Imagine water so pure that you can see up to 22 meters deep, a transparency that reveals a world of unique life forms. The lake hosts over 200 endemic species, making it comparable to legendary biological hotspots like Lake Baikal and Lake Tanganyika. 17 endemic fish species call these waters home, including the remarkable Ohrid trout. 68 species of freshwater snails inhabit the lake basin, with over 73% of them found nowhere else on the planet. From microscopic algae to complex aquatic creatures, Lake Ohrid is a living laboratory of evolutionary processes. The surrounding wetlands play a crucial role in maintaining this delicate ecosystem. The Studentishta marsh, despite facing significant threats from urban development, remains a vital habitat. It's a buffer that prevents lake eutrophication and provides a home for relict plants and endemic species. The human story of Ohrid is equally captivating. Near the Lin Peninsula in Albania, archaeologists have uncovered one of Europe's oldest pile-dwelling settlements, a site over 8,500 years old. This remarkable discovery predates similar Swiss settlements by more than 2,000 years and provides crucial insights into the spread of agricultural practices across Europe. The town of Ohrid itself is a living historical manuscript. Built primarily between the 7th and 19th centuries, it's one of Europe's oldest settlements. Here, you'll find the oldest Slav monastery, St. Panteleimon, and a collection of more than 800 Byzantine-style icons dating from the 11th to the 14th centuries. Historically, this was a critical crossroads of civilizations. Its proximity to the ancient Roman route Via Egnatia connected Durrës to Thessaloniki and Constantinople, making it a significant communication corridor. 7 early Christian basilicas, dating from the 4th to 6th centuries, stand as a testament to the region's rich religious heritage. With their intricate mosaic floors and decorative features, telling stories of faith and artistic expression. Yet, like many extraordinary natural sites, the Ohrid region faces significant challenges. Tourism, urban development, and climate change threaten its delicate balance. The lake has experienced a threefold increase in phosphorus concentration over the past century, potentially disrupting its unique ecosystem. Climate projections are concerning. Scientists warn that without a 50% reduction in phosphorus input, the lake's deep waters may lose their oxygen content within the next 50 years. This would be catastrophic for the endemic species that have called these waters home for millions of years. Conservation efforts are ongoing and critical. The area has been designated a Ramsar wetland of international importance, recognizing its global significance. International organizations, local communities, and scientific researchers are working together to protect this extraordinary landscape, understanding that its preservation is a global responsibility. For scientists, Lake Ohrid functions as a natural laboratory of unprecedented value. Its sediment cores provide an archive of regional history, spanning an incredible 1.2 million years. Researchers have used these cores to study everything, from the birth of European agriculture to regional climate shifts and biological evolution. The lake has provided the first empirical evidence of niche-based assembly processes in a natural system, demonstrating the dynamic equilibrium of isolated ecosystems. It's offered insight into tree cover, soil erosion, and flora composition during glacier and interglacial periods. And here's a couple of tidbits that will make you smarter than your average tourist, although you're already smarter because you're listening to this podcast. Did you know that one of the methane lakes on Titan, Jupiter's moon, is named after Lake Ohrid? Or that the lake supports hundreds of thousands of wintering water birds, including rare species like the Dalmatian pelican and eastern imperial eagle? The Ohrid region is more than a destination. From its crystal clear waters to its ancient shores, from prehistoric settlements to Byzantine monasteries, this is a place that reminds us of the intricate, beautiful complexity of our planet. So while it's more than a destination, let's talk a bit about what to do if this is your destination. Let's start with how to get there. If you're flying in from another country, Ohrid St. Paul the Apostle Airport in North Macedonia is 9 kilometers or a little over 5.5 miles from Ohrid. Tirana Airport is your best option if flying into Albania, but it is 2.5 hours away. From the airport, you can take a taxi, rent a car, or take a bus. Apparently, public transportation is quite inexpensive. In terms of fees, you will pay to park, but walking the grounds, such as the monastery, is free. There are numerous day tours of Ohrid that depart from Skopje, which is the capital of Macedonia. Matka Canyon is also a scenic spot where you can book a boat ride that will take you to the Vrelo Cave, around Lake Ohrid specifically. Hiking around the lake, kayaking, and even paragliding over the lake are popular activities. This is also an ideal spot for bird watching. If you're seeking other things to do while in the area, Skopje also has the Old Bazaar, one of the largest in Europe. This bazaar was the center of trade for the city since the 12th century, and these cobbled streets hold everything from market stalls to art galleries. The languages spoken are Macedonian and Albanian, depending on which country or countries you're visiting. I thought I would mention that for those who use translation apps or bring physical travel language phrase books on their trips. You can also visit Rozafa Castle in Albania, which has a long history. There's a museum where you can learn about that majestic history, see the statue of Rozafa, and take in some gorgeous views. It is about 3.5 hours away by bus from Ohrid. But for those who love mythology and folklore, this is linked to a fascinating, well-known legend about Rozafa. According to an old tale, 3 brothers wanted to build a castle, but the walls kept falling down. An old man told the brothers that if they wanted the castle to stand, they had to bury alive in the walls whichever of their wives brought them food the next day. But they couldn't warn them. The 2 older brothers told their wives what would happen, but the youngest brother kept the secret, and his wife, Rozafa, brought them food. After learning the story, Rozafa accepted immurement, but only if part of her body remained free enough to comfort her infant son. Not only can you see this sculpture today, but this legend has been written about in books and honored in Hungarian music over the years as well. I also want to bring up a few other things to consider. When packing for your trip, keep in mind the weather. The summers are dry, and winters are cold and can be snowy. It can get as low as in the 20s and as high as 80 degrees Fahrenheit. In terms of places to stay, there are a small number of hotels, bed and breakfasts, and a few homestay options on the Albanian side. The North Macedonian side seems to have more options available. Of course, food is always one of my favorite parts of traveling as well. Tavche gravche is the national dish of North Macedonia and is a must-do. It's a dish made with butter beans that are soaked, usually overnight, and cooked with spices in an earthenware pot, which gives it a special flavor. This may sound basic, but it is truly creamy goodness. Whether we're discussing food, traditions, or values, having cultural context truly allows for a more enriching and authentic travel experience. The natural and cultural heritage of the Ohrid region is a truly special destination. Our next episode will transport us to another UNESCO World Heritage Site that captures the imagination, the natural and cultural historical region of Kotor in Montenegro. Come learn about the history, legends, and travel tips for visiting this picturesque harbor on the Adriatic coast. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep treasuring the remarkable diversity of our world's heritage.